So I'm really bad at playing horror games, and every so often I just go on Steam and I find a bunch of free indie ones, just to see if I'm still bad at it. And I guess we're going to find out together as I give an earnest spoiler warning style artistic critique of this game, retaining my composure at all times. It's just, I need to make sure you guys can hear the recording, so I'm going to turn the game volume down just a little bit here. And basically I just try to grab anything that looks like it has a quasi-positive review on Steam. Let's just turn the down a little bit more. And I don't do a lot of vetting with regards to content, although I definitely prefer puzzle-style games over combat-style games, because, well, honestly, I'm just bad at combat. Select game mode, timed or story. So it looks like here in timed mode, yeah, it's grading us based on completion. Okay, so it's like a horror game, but they added in score. It's like if you mix Silent Hill with Skee-Ball. Does it focus on the story and is therefore much shorter? Well, let's go for the story mode. Final score is based on close calls. Oh, great. So it grades me based on how close I get to the monster? I don't like that system. I would rather not be close to the monster. So I'm following the investigation of a mortician who worked at a funeral home many years ago before an unknown disaster killed all of the employees. Unlike time mode, it focuses on the story of Black Roses, therefore much longer. Well, we'll see how far we get. And we'll also see what I think of this gripping narrative. Okay, flashlight taking up the middle of the screen. Movement speed is somewhere around crawling on my hands on a wet floor with my legs falling asleep. That's a restricted area, so let's not go there. Looks like I got a sprint key in case I feel the need to dive faster. Or possibly slower. Not finding any other controls, but I am just... Oh, and there's no options menu either, so we're really into it. I guess they're pretty serious about keeping this door shut. I wonder if the keys are around here somewhere. So I've noticed that most indie Steam games have those little text boxes for when your character needs to say something, like to narrate to himself, which gives the sense of a character, but often not a lot of specificity. Pain and suffering has warped their... Oh, okay. Well, that's, so we're establishing here that there's someone who wants to leave us cryptic notes in what I'm going to assume is lipstick, because it had a lot of thickness for pigmentation, just sort of haphazardly applied, and also a bright shade of red. Anyway, so obviously, oh, left mouse button opens doors, not E as I had presumed. So I just lost control of my mouse here. I'm going to take a little breather here to finish my thought, which is, obviously they can't afford voice acting, but also it just... You know, it does a little extra to remove the sense of, you know, the characters being someone specific and add to the idea that it's just you, except the character's tone of voice is never the sort I would employ in this situation, so that doesn't really work for me. Boss says not to go near Myrtle's grave. Why won't the gravedigger bury it anyway? It's not like what the boss says is true. I mean, the dead can't really talk. Leave several lines. Can they? Flips the paper while delivering a Vincent Price laugh to himself, presumably. Empty corkboard. Okay, so I'm following a mortician. It's jammed, but I might be able to force it open. I would need to ram it a couple times. Press and hold space. Oh, wow, it's really just locked me onto a rail here. And I've pressed and hold it. Oh. You let go to ram it. I see. That's actually a pretty cool mechanic, because it definitely sort of reinforces the idea of a frantic movement and of gathering strength. While also making me feel upset that I am physically taking a motion to move my character backwards towards whatever's presumably going to be behind me. Also locked. Okay. I'm sorry, I did that Let's Player thing where I didn't actually read that note, which is probably going to be a problem when I get lost in a second, so if there's a conspicuous edit here, it's not because I shat myself, probably. I also just... Okay... So far, whenever there's like a creepy noise, it actually locks my movement keys and my point of view. So yeah, family room. The doors work pretty badly. I don't think I'd be able to get it open. Okay. So far, so good. I like the part where there's no monster killing me. That's my favorite part of the early stage of this video game. Yeah. so I definitely can't open that. I don't think I've been down this flight of stairs here. I think this is what they call a slow burn. I mean, honestly, that's way worse than introducing them. Fuck that. That's way worse than introducing a monster early on. Is if I just get into like a me versus it mode, that's kind of the end of it. But if on the other hand, shit. If on the other hand I'm just waiting for it to happen for so long that it just becomes the worst possible thing, then yeah, that's how you really get somebody bad. That's something I take on board whenever I run horror sessions. I try not to introduce any actual supernatural active threats until at least the midway point of a long session. Or towards the end, if it's a shorter session, and then I just introduce more mundane threats and forebodings and hints of danger until then. Her eyes, don't look her in the eyes. Oh, so we're operating by slender dynamics. Okay, the other baby monitor's down here, and this feels weird. I'm not sure I want to be here anymore. Well, yes! I had also observed that, so feeling some sympathy with my protagonist here. Something feels wrong. Maybe it's the fucking coffin that's going to open as soon as I pick this fucking baby monitor up. Or I can't pick it up. Okay. Actually, okay, unless I'm supposed to get it right in the middle of the screen here. I guess that's that? Or again, unless I just missed something obvious. In which case, expect it's one of those conspicuous edits you've heard so much about. Okay, so what's... Oh, boy. Ah, boy. I'm lost. Nearly as bad at following directions as I am at surviving jump scares intact. I definitely don't like how it's turning me around here. Okay, I've come back to here, so unless I really am supposed to just backtrack... Oh, here we go. You hit Tab to open up settings. So let's just check how to play here just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Left click to interact, hold doors, shift to run, space to ram doors that are jammed. Oh, and here it actually tells me how to avoid getting killed. When your score starts increasing, the enemy is dangerously close. Fuck me. Try to get as many close calls as possible to bring up your score. Yeah, okay. But be aware that they should not let your close call with the first enemy last too long. This enemy's particularly... They're giving me a full-on Prima strategy guide here. Which is an interesting approach here, because, firstly, why do I give a fuck about my score? Is there a true ending here I'm supposed to be getting? Secondly, are they really making it so that they have to incentivize me to be scared by their monster? Not exactly sure how to take that, but then again, I haven't actually encountered the monster, which I can presume is a spooky girl that stands stock still. Yeah, once again, nothing's sort of happening here. Okay, well, my score's not going up, which presumably means I'm winning. According to the game's logic. Oh, fuck me, I am just supposed to go back. Stay here with me. I don't really think I want to do that. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, boy. What's going on? Oh, fuck me! Okay, well, we're getting right into it here, and my scores remain 0, so apparently that's just like a little taster jump scare to really get me into the spirit of things. I'm rocking myself right into a fucking dead end, aren't I? Oh, Christ. So I have to go back that way and presumably look in the direction where I last spotted the monster, who I'm gonna guess has disappeared from my knowledge of horror games that scare the fuck out of me. Because you're not actually supposed to... Oh, crap. Fuck! My score's going up. Shit. Shit. Fuck. 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 Still going up. They stitched him back together. Well, that was nice of them. Oh. Just took a little bit of a tipple upward again. I just noticed something. They're making me look at the top left of my screen here so that I'm looking away from the middle where I'm paying attention to where I'm going. Oh, boy. The game actually just froze for a fucking second. Oh, shite. Oh, boy. Well, that was apparently an example of how not to play this video game. In my defense, my score was going up pretty quickly towards the end there. We gonna restart? Yeah, okay. Let's take another tilt at this one. Let's take another tilt at this spooky fucking windmill. And I've got back down to a score of 0, so it's starting the game all the way over again. I'm certainly going to get far enough to see if there's a unique track here, and if there's absolutely no new content, I might just do a skip to my reflecting that there's no new content, but actually, well, okay, no, that is... Okay, so right now my task is apparently to find keys for that thing. Yeah, I don't know how interesting this is to watch, or how much schadenfreude you're getting out of my mortal terror. But I'm also finding this game a little bit interesting to talk about, just because, like, I find horror mechanics very engrossing. I often try to run scenarios, not video games, because I don't make video games anymore, but, yeah, I try to create horror events, you know, live-action role plays, escape room type situations that I run on special occasions. Because I think that the mechanics of how to create dread are... It's interesting because there's a craft to it, which is a little bit peripheral to the raw artistic expression that in theory defines how well you succeed with some other genres. There's Baby Monitor A, which I've taken, but I don't seem interested in taking Baby Monitor B. This just seems to be a perquisite to allow the ghost to say spooky shit to me. Oh, so the ghost is actually feeding me a walkthrough, which is cool. The plus side, now I can just do a speed run. It's not clear what unlocked the chapel is one of my main problems. I like, you know, you might argue it's scarier to make you wander around the horror game, and, like, not know where you're going and have more opportunities to trip over a jump scare, but, you know, I find that's just a little bit too frustrating. That just makes me want to not play, whereas if I feel like I can follow a thread of logic... Yeah, there's the other one. Okay, so yeah, I guess I wasn't following the logic here, which is the Baby Monitor said the one thing saying the spooky shit to me, so finding it down here is just the scare of, oh no, it's the corpse that's talking to me. Yeah. But yeah, I like to have a thread of logic I can follow, even if it's, and it usually is in the case of indie horror games, like outright puzzle game logic. Okay, so we are going to get back out as soon as I can actually find the exit. I'm quite lost. I think this is the right way. Yep. I believe I shall. No, thank you. Okay, so, again, it locks my view, and I'm actually on the fence about whether this is scarier that it does this or less scary. It certainly seems like it diminishes the horror if it gives me any sense of, like, okay, something is about to happen. And it also shows that it didn't trust me to sort of see their scare in the right light. But on the other hand, and you know, this is something that's hotly debated in horror circles. Oh, how's this door locked? I know it wasn't earlier. Is how much warning that something spooky is about to happen is effective versus how much it diminishes the eventual effect. Family room still fucking locked. Okay, so the chapel's open now. Oh, fuck! Okay, that was just bad gameplay on my behalf. On the other hand, I would actually pin that down to the mechanics somewhat. So what just happened there was the spirit appeared behind me, directly, and I should have gathered this just from the fact that a spooks happened, and from the fact that there wasn't a ghost immediately in front of me, and I should have done what I instinctively did the first time, to be fair, which was just run straight ahead. But on the other hand, when you walk into an area and it hits you with, like, a spook noise, the signal that actually sends to my brain is, I made a mistake, I need to undo it. I need to reverse it, which, I mean, is firstly something you never want to have happen in your horror game. You always want people to go forward. And secondly, in theory, you don't want to kill the player as often as you can, because it does things like happened the first time, which is break the flow, make players replay content, and endure jump scares that they already know are coming, which just sort of is more frustrating than anything else. So you want to make players feel like they're in danger as much as possible without actually killing them, which is something I actually thought Amnesia: The Dark Descent was really good at, and I think is one of the reasons it was so successful, is that it's actually pretty easy to play that game, but it feels like it's difficult. And, you know, we're not going to restart here, and I'll tell you why. There's just not a lot of new content I'm uncovering. My favorite part of most horror games is the sense that I'm finding new stuff, and I'm not actually finding any new material here. The house is pretty samey, even the new rooms pretty much look alike. It adds new context with the notes and stuff, but ultimately it's just not that sense of exploration. So anyway, I'm going to quit the game and change. Have a good night.